Yeah, don't put them at an angle because they pull the window.
Got the dining room window in and got the doors in. Couldn't film much of it because it was kind of all hands on deck. This was a challenge getting these in because of the openings. They were a little bit less than plumb and square, as it turns out. But we got our back door in there and the French doors in. And I've been working on setting the hardware. So I got those two done and I'm about to do the back door. Installing a striker plate. These are the screws they give you to install into the door jamb. These are the screws we're going to use. Money. Cool. Now deadbolt. Okay, use the trusty Dremel to open this opening up, and this is a reinforced security plate that goes with that. All right, I thought I'd take a minute to talk a little bit about our doors. I think I mentioned in another clip that we did manage to get our French doors and our back door installed already. I didn't get to film a lot of it because it was kind of all hands on deck. The openings that were in the ICF were kind of atrocious, and we had to fight with that and get those shored up. I'll show you all that in a minute, but talking specifically about our doors and what we're going with, these are all fiberglass doors. They are like warranted for 20 years against fading and dents and things like that. I did not want to go with steel doors because I didn't want them to dent over time. I've had those before. And wooden doors, although they look great, they're very expensive and they swell and shrink and fade and split over time, especially with the humidity around here. So I didn't want to go with that. So we went with all fiberglass. And they all come in this gross beige color, but you've stained them with a gel stain to get them to be whatever color you want. And then they look just as good as a wood door as long as you do a good job. This will be the front door. This is a regular 3-foot in-swing door with a 6-light. It's a 6-light Craftsman, it's called. So the challenge with this particular door is it's got the brick mold on it. It is the only one that we got that is an in-swing door. The reason this brick mold is a problem is the brick mold mounts up against the frame of the opening, but our opening is like a foot deep, and this is 4 7/8. So we have to take this brick mold off to mount this door inside, and I'll show you what I mean here. All right, so here's the brick mold that I'm talking about. This typically trims out the door on the outside of the wall, and then this mounts to the rough opening on the inside. Now, if you're using a 2x4 or 2x6 wall, this works just fine because this is 4 7/8 wide. However, our rough opening is like 11 1/4 inches. And we have to flush the door from this side. The brick mold is on this side. So we have to take the brick mold off, flush the door up to this opening. If we don't do that, say we flushed it up to this, and we have our 4 7/8, then our door sits here. And when you go to open it, you're gonna end up hitting this. So we're gonna flush it all the way up to here after we take the brick mold off, and then we'll build out jambs to make them look all fancy and custom. And then we'll put the brick mold back on out here by itself. And I was messing with it, and fortunately, it will come off. It's just pinned in. I was worried it was glued, and that would have been a nightmare, almost impossible to separate those two. But we're in luck. We can knock that off, and then we can mount that door. Let me show you these other doors and kind of the nightmare we're dealing with here. Okay, here's the thresholds we built out of mortar and then waterproofed. These doors sit in here real nice. That's the one area we got lucky in. Challenge is when they bored this whole ledger or this header is so wonky. It is not square. Fortunately, it was quite a bit bigger than the door, but we had to shim it and kind of shore it up. And these doors are only temporarily installed here, just enough so we could get it dried in and get the hardware installed. So these are our lock sets that we got installed. But if you look at it from back here, see how out of whack that is? You won't notice it once it's all finished and trimmed out. But that was our challenge, and that's why I didn't really get a lot of footage, because we were all just trying to scratch our heads and get that worked out. But they're in and they work. And they're, regular French doors, so they both sides open. This is a right-hand opening door. And then there are pins in the top and bottom of that side that allows you to open it if you want to open it for just like moving big stuff through it. But typically you're only going to operate this door, right-hand swing. What else? Oh, it's got the built-in blinds inside the glass, which is really nice. So you don't have to hang blinds and dust them. You just, here's your little operator. And you slide it. As you slide it up, the blind drops, and then you push it. And then you pull it down, and it operates the blind. You can pull it all the way down, and it lifts the blind up. And they're built into the glass, which is really awesome, probably until the seal breaks someday on the glass. But I like them. So both of these French doors are the same. And then this is the back door. It's just a single panel glass, very similar to the French doors. It's got the built-in blinds and a fancier lock set. And that's that. We have to install the front door, and we have to install the other set of right-hand opening French doors in the basement directly below these. And then our doors will be finished. It's coming off. I laid it down because I wanted to check the bottom here of the threshold to make sure that this was nice and flat, so when we caulk the threshold over there we can get a good seal at the bottom of the door, and it looks pretty good to me, so that's what we'll do. 37 and a half, 37 and a quarter, 37 and a half, 38 and a half. So I'm going to make up an inch. I'm going to build out this hinge side with a piece of 5/4 deck board, I guess. So this door has a screw in it right here. Hold the door closed in the frame for shipping. We gotta take that out. That's why that was a 1/4 inch shorter, because it was sucking that door frame into the door. Ew. Wasp. All right, we're gonna caulk the heck out of this threshold. That should be enough. I think. All right. good. That was as smooth as I could have hoped. Opening wasn't terrible. Got a gap up here. We'll shim it up and spray foam it and caulk it. It's good to me. I'm happy. Cool. Alright, we'll put this in there. Now this thing goes in all kinds of directions.
Okay, go your way. The best way we're gonna want it. There you go. Huh. That sucker feels perfect. Huh? Yeah, I'll just let it pull that away a little bit more. It don't get no better than that.
Cool. Let's go see what it looks like from the outside. Sure helps with the wind.
Holding it?
The wind hits it. No, the wind was coming into that hole, coming up the steps, and just
Oh yeah, yeah.
freezing it up in
Oh,
there.
I'll bet, yeah. Yeah.
Cool, that went in nice.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Sweet. Well, that's one more thing off the list. Doors are finished. So I'm gonna spray foam and trim and make sure all of the caulking and tape around the windows, all that's buttoned up and nice, everything's sealed. It's very windy outside right now, but nice and quiet in here, with the exception of the building paper flapping in those openings because we still have 4 special windows to install. Hopefully that'll be the next video. Hopefully we'll be able to do that next week. And then we're gonna start working on porches and electrical, I believe. So we'll see you in the next video. Appreciate you watching. See you next time.